This guy, right here, has over 2,000 hours on Jett. If you haven't heard of him before, this is Kaemii. If you want to learn Jett, Kaemii is a great reference, as you can see here. Did we mention Kaemii's choice of weapon is a martial? That's right. Through the use of the dash, he turns the martial into an absolute machine, dispatching players at every turn. The reason the martial does so well for him is due to the fast fire rate and low movement penalty in tandem with his raw aiming skill. He does use regular weapons as well, but we figured it would be wise to let you guys know what he's most known for. The Jett dash itself is a simple ability, but the use case for it is mind-blowing. The dash allows for quick movement and absurd levels of escapability that every Radiant Jett player abuses to the max. An angle that may be unsafe to play at is turned into a safe angle just through the use of this one ability. Ever wonder why Jett is constantly getting tuned down every so often? It's because they can't necessarily remove the Jett dash, but they do have to nerf other parts of Jett in order to make her more fair. Kaemii takes advantage of this at every opportunity that he can. In this case, Kaemii hears the Sova droning market. He uses this small gap to dash straight to market, killing the Sova and putting pressure on the defenders. He then proceeds to take pre-aim and take care of KJ. From here, he pops dash once again and uses his smoke to push deeper into CT. He takes a fight, realizes he's at a disadvantage, and dashes once again to cover. The scan from the Sova dart comes out, and he pre-aims and dispatches of their Phoenix. And finishing the last kill, he ends the round. This is a great display of aggressive timing from Kaemii. He uses any window of opportunity possible to dash up in a way that's nearly impossible for the enemies to react to. When enemies give you opportunities like this, be sure to take them. There are a lot of small windows and rounds in which players will not be ready for aggression. With time, you'll be able to see these windows easier and capitalize on them easier as well. But understanding these micro opportunities and capitalizing on them is what separates a low elo Jett from someone like Kaemii. The dash is great for escapability, but it doubles as a way to reliably get into the face of the opponents when they're least expecting it. An average Jett player dashes in expecting it to work no matter what. A Radiant Jett, on the other hand, times it optimally to catch the opponent when they're pulling utility, trying to reposition, reload, and so on. You'll learn from your mistakes on Jett. Kaemii clearly has the hours he's sunk into the character. So remember, don't feel bad, just think before you dash. If you see a good opportunity, take it. Keep in mind, many players actually hyper-focus on their aim when trying to learn Jett, when in reality the bigger issue is their movement. They'll spend hundreds of hours in aim trainers, just grinding out scenarios when, in reality, their biggest issue is they just don't know the movement secrets that not only make you infinitely harder to hit, they also make it easier to land shots. And luckily for you, this is exactly what we break down in our Movement Master in Minutes course, where we spill every little tip that the pros use to move like gods. This course is designed to get you caught up to speed as fast as possible, so you can instantly fix your mistakes and start fragging in nearly just 10 minutes. Yeah, we know, it sounds too good to be true, which is why we also back our site with a rank up guarantee, meaning if you don't climb, you don't pay. Imagine that. It's like your local gym promising you'll get ripped. Yeah, not too sure how well that would work out for him, but we're able to offer this because our service has been proven to work. Check it out using the description below, and we'll see you there. Now we'll do a brief run through of the other abilities that Kaemii tends to abuse in his matches. The updraft is great in tandem with the dash, to dash in and updraft to a new angle simultaneously. It can also be used to get some pretty cheeky angles so you can hold, like on top of B site here on Haven. Updrafting is also a great way to add verticality to any dash pushes you might be trying to accomplish. In this clip, Kaemii updrafted high in the sky to avoid being an easy target for the fade-in U-Haul, which allowed him to kill her as she exited. The updraft is also great as a makeshift dash to get out of dangerous situations. The Cloudburst can be used in tandem effectively with the dash, allowing you to press forward into the enemy lines efficiently. You can also use them for fast sightline blockage, or to escape from situations easily. Moving concealment. Remember this when you're using Jett smokes. In this clip, Kaemii is retaking against the attackers. He throws his Cloudburst for concealment from the right side of sight. He proceeds to dash into the smoke while clearing left. On his way in, he spots the Killjoy. Kaemii swings to the left and takes out the KJ he had info on. He instantly pops down another smoke to his left after this to cover any trade potential from his left. The Jett swings and he wins the fight. If we run that back, we can see the decision making at work here. A smoke to cover his entry onto site and to gather info on his way in. With this info, he kills the Killjoy and protects the trades with another smoke, which allows him to confidently take a fight with the player on site. Through the use of bladestorm, we can see Kaemii cut through his opponents here with ease. Using every single ability in his toolkit, he speeds through the map, picking off player after player. He takes care of the first enemy by jumping around the corner, and speeds to B, where he picks off yet another player. Notice how Kaemii doesn't stop moving. This is the true power of Jett. The second he picks the player on B, he knows the next likely opponent will be C-Link. He dashes in and lands the kill. He proceeds to speed into garage with yet another dash and picks off the garage player. He ends the round with an ace by dealing with the remaining player. Notice how Kaemii is constantly moving with his bladestorm and jumping all the while. Staying mobile and jumping is an absolute must while using bladestorm. It's greatest strength for the ultimate. Jumping and moving obviously makes you a much harder target to hit, but it also throws the enemy's crosshairs off. So, even if you die, it'd be pretty difficult for the enemy to adjust to a teammate of yours. On the Cypher kill, you can see Kaemii do a micro hop at the end of his dash. This accomplishes one major thing, offsetting his head and forcing the enemy to adjust to him. This is another key for Jett, forcing enemies to adjust to a character rapidly moving into their view. When you have information on an enemy, you want to think about how you can make yourself the hardest shot to hit, while also staying semi-safe through the use of cover or jumping. Kaemii's movement is something he does well here, and the speed at which he moves through the map really speaks to his skill as a player. Notice how the second the two B players were dead, he already knew where to find the next two. He sped towards them as fast as possible, creating as much space as he could for his team in the process. He made openings at every turn in this round, and had his team capitalized by getting spiked down. If Kaemii were to die here, after the third kill, he'd still have made an insane amount of space for his team to utilize. Kaemii, out of all the players I've reviewed, has some of the best movement through the map of any player I've watched. Let's watch now as Kaemii deals with the market players here on Sunset.
Oh, there's one. Huge. You're crazy.
Oh, 55.
Dude, this guy just took all the market, bro. Can we just not go that way?
Yeah, just up there.
One enemy remaining.
While running out mid, he's pre-aimed on market door, allowing for an easy kill. He proceeds to take advantage of the pick and market and dashes in with an updraft, right into Cypher, who's not at all ready. The reason he dashed in here was because he heard a reload and believed he could get a free kill. Once again, micro opportunities. Just like we discussed earlier, Kaemii saw a potential opportunity, took it, and it paid off in full. He caught the Reyna backed up because she was reloading and the Cypher who was attempting to cage off Kaemei's team. He easily deals with Cypher and Reyna, then proceeds into CT to pick off the rotating players. Kaemei's aggression is really something to learn from here. The way he weasels his way into situations just to take advantage of small mistakes the enemy team is making, it's perfect. Quick and well thought out aggression. This is easily the most enjoyable factor to watch in his gameplay. His aggressive nature is also his most commonly abused mechanic. Once the pick is gained on the first player in this round, the enemy defenders will be reeling and trying to contain any cracks in their defense. He speeds into market with no hesitation once he hears the reload and the harbor wall was down. He deals with two players who were unprepared. Even if the enemy was prepared for him, it would force their crosshairs in the air. So let's say, for example, he died here. His teammates would have traded him, and he created an insanely easy fight for his team to win in case he died. Kaemei's aggression is just interesting, and although it might seem reckless, it's quite calculated, which I find very interesting. The aggression, it's thought out, and it has intention with a plan. The Jett main is also placed in the perfect position to cut off rotates, and deal with the next threat in as fast a fashion as possible. In our final round, we have our Jett main pushing down into B main with the Sova ult.
Nice, Jett.
Spike
Take your numbers.
down B.
Take your kills.
One enemy remaining.
The Sova in this round did not drone Kaemii out. He used this opportunity to creep up and fight him. Kaemii is a master of punishing small mistakes. Every single Jett player should strive to recognize small errors from the enemy team. He capitalizes on these small errors and comes out on top in a lot of situations where he's outnumbered. From here, he backs up and he flies on top of yellow in order to get a nice angle on the final player. He backs up here to avoid getting traded, and to reposition on top of yellow, which allows his team to peek from the side of yellow to assist him. In this instance, Kaemii took an aggressive approach to the round. Once he realized he was in big danger, he backed up and he minimalized the amount of players that he would have to fight. This also made it so he got his 2 kills and avoided the trade, allowing for his team to assist him further in the round. Kaemii is the king of aggressive plays. This should be pretty clear by now. So, what does 3,000 hours on Jett really look like? Well, it looks like this. Understanding aggressive timings that'll take the enemy team off guard is absolutely essential. Pushing in, cutting off players, rotating, knowing where the enemy's next plays are all big keys to becoming a stellar Jett player. And they're also keys that Kaemii has mastered down to a T. There is a lot to learn from this man, but the key takeaway here is timed aggression and how well he understands player positioning on a deeper level. He's also constantly thinking about what the enemy's perceiving and thinking. He takes advantage of every mistake possible, and this, combined with his aggressive nature, create an absolutely monstrous approach to the character. Kaemii has thousands of hours in the game, and mainly on Jett. It's pretty clear to see how he thinks while playing. Alright guys, before we wrap this up, let's tell you a little bit more about SkillCapped. So we offer a 5-division rank up guarantee, and we think that's a pretty crazy thing to offer. It's kind of like getting a gym membership that guarantees you'll get ripped. Your local gym would go bust if they offered you that, but not us. We've offered this for years because our service really does work. It works so well, in fact, that we're able to produce by far the largest catalog of premium Valorant guides on the entire internet. We add new courses every month with over 1,000 guides curated into over 50 courses, so no one can compare. We also have a direct line of communication with subscribers in our Discord, so you can get connected immediately to some of the best players in the game, who will respond to all questions asked. Sign up today for as little as $6.99 a month if you're serious about improving. So, that's going to be all for this one today. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.